First question, the formula to determine poles in filter design is that is pk, that is equal to plus or minus omega c e power j 2k plus 1 pi divided by 2n, and this is a formula to determine the poles in digital filter design. So answer here is B. Second question, for third order system, the system function of Butterworth filter B. So here the answer is B. For third order system, the system function that is equal to 1 divided by s plus 1 into s square plus s plus 1. So answer here is B. Third question, the analog filter is converted into digital filter by using bilinear transformation by. So here the answer is B. So S, that is equal to 2 by T into 1 minus z power minus 1 divided by 1 plus z power minus 1. So here the answer is B. Fourth question, in impulse invariance method, the mapping valid only for poles. The mapping valid only for poles in impulse invariance method. So here the answer is A. Fifth question, the relationship between analog frequency and digital frequency B. So here the answer is A. That is analog frequency, that is equal to 2 tan inverse of omega t divided by 2, that is digital frequency. So the relationship between analog and digital frequency, omega is equal to 2 into tan inverse of omega t divided by 2. A is the answer. Sixth question, impulse invariant method is suitable only for low pass filter and narrow band pass filter. Narrow filter like low pass filter and band pass filter, narrow band pass filter, impulse invariant method suitable only for this kind of filter. So here the answer is both A and D. So D is the answer. Seventh question, magnitude response of the Chebyshev filter, ripples in pass band and monotonic in stop band. So the magnitude response of the Chebyshev filter is ripples in pass band and monotonic in stop band. So here the answer is A. Eighth question, consider the analog transformation 1 by s plus 2, let t is equal to 0.1 second. Find digital transfer function. So the steps involved to find the transfer function using simple pole. Here only one pole, simple pole method, s 1 divided by s plus 2. So for consider this is the case, s minus pk. So the transfer function is 1 divided by 1 minus e pk t in this z power minus 1. So this is a formula, and here we have s plus 2. So the pk value, here minus means here plus means this become minus. So this plus means this become minus. So we will get 1 minus e power minus pk value is 2 into t z power minus 1, and t value is 0.1. So this become 1 divided by 1 minus e power 0.2 z power minus 1. So here the answer is A. Ninth question, the mapping for the bilinear transformation is 1 to 1. So here the answer is A. The mapping for the bilinear transformation is 1 to 1. A is the answer. 10th question, the relationship between the analog and digital frequencies in bilinear transformation is given by, that is omega, that is equal to 2 by t tan omega by 2. The same question we solved previously, that is omega is equal to, that is 2 into tan inverse of omega t divided by 2. So this is the formula, and similarly this also is equal to 2 by t tan of omega by 2. So this is the answer. So here the answer is A. At high frequencies, the relation between omega and omega, that is analog frequency and digital frequency, become nonlinear and introduce noise in the digital filter. This effect is known as warping. So here the answer is C. 12th question, in IIR filter design by the bilinear transformation, the mapping from S plane to Z plane. So here the answer is B, S plane to Z plane. 13th question, what is the duration of the unit sample response of the digital filter? That is infinite. The response of the unit sample in digital filter, that is infinite. B is the answer. And 14th question, which of the following methods are used to convert analog filter into digital filter? And all these three methods are used to convert analog filter into digital filter. Approximation of derivative, bilinear transformation, impulse invariance. So the answer here is D, all the above. 15th question, Butterworth filters are monotonic. So answer here is A. First question, the following which is non-recursive system. FIR filter is a non-recursive system. Answer here is A. IAR is a recursive system. FIR is the non-recursive system. So here the answer is A. Second question, determine the condition of linear phase FIR filter. And here for linear phase FIR filter, two conditions. One is phase delay and group delay are constant. Second one is h of n, that is equal to, first one is phase delay is constant and h of n, that is equal to plus or minus h of n minus 1 minus m. So here the answer is A. Third question, FIR filters are stable. B is the answer. And fourth question, which of the following is the different equation of the FIR filter of length m, input x of n and output y of n? And here C is the answer. The relationship between this y of n, x of n and m, that is y of n output, that is equal to k equal to 0 to m minus 1, where m is the length and pk is the filter coefficient, and x of n minus k. So this is the relationship between output, input and length m. So here the answer is C. Fifth question, if h of z is the z transform of the impulse response of an FIR filter, then which of the following relation is true? So here the answer is D. So we will get plus or minus h of z by taking h of z inverse and multiplied with this z power minus m minus 1. So this h of z power z inverse, that is multiplied with z power minus m minus 1, we will get plus or minus h of z. So the relationship D is the answer. Sixth question, which of the following have smallest side lobes? Blackman window. B is the answer. And seventh question, the antisymmetric condition with m even is not used in the design of which of the following linear phase FIR filter? So linear phase, you consider this h of n, that is equal to minus h of m minus 1 minus n. For this condition, we will get h of z, that is equal to 0. So in case of h of 0, this becomes 0. This is not happening in low pass filter. So here the answer is A, low pass filter. And eighth question, condition of linear phase FIR filter. As I told you earlier, on phase delay, group delay are constant for linear phase FIR filter. That is phase delay, that is equal to n minus 1 by 2, and this value is constant. So here the answer is A. Ninth question, if KIP phenomenon, the ringing effect is predominantly present near the band edge. So here the answer is B. Next question, which window function is also regarded as raised cosine window? That answer here is B, Hanning window. The Hanning window is also called as raised cosine window. B is the answer. 11th question, in FIR filter design, which among the following parameters is or are separately controlled by using Kaiser window? And here the answer is both A and B, order of filter M and transition width of main loop. So answer here is both A and B. So C is the answer. Next question, a filter is said to be linear phase filter if the phase delay and group delay are constant. Phase delay and group delay are constant, and h of n value that is equal to plus or minus h of m minus 1 minus n. So here the answer is D. 13th question, FIR filters are non-recursive and also it do not accept any feedback. So answer here is A and B. So here the answer is 1. 14th question, basically group delay is the delayed response of filter as a function of frequency. So here the answer is C. And final question, the roots of the equation h of z occurs in reciprocal pairs. So here the answer is C. The root of the equation h of z occurs in reciprocal pairs. Answer here is C. So first question, the Laplace transform of x of t is equal to e power minus at cos omega naught t into u of t. And in signal processing, it is easy to memorize some of the important signal and its Laplace transform. So if you are if you are calculating this, it will take more time. So I share some important Laplace transform of different signal, and you can memorize and you can expect the question from that kind of signal also. And this is very important Laplace transform pair. So you just remember all those things. So here the Laplace transform of this signal is e to the power minus at cos omega naught t into u of t, that is s plus a divided by s plus a the whole square plus omega naught square. So this is s plus a divided by s plus a the whole square, because e power minus 80 means we have to put plus sign. So s plus a divided by s plus a the whole square plus omega naught square. So here the answer is C. And second question, Laplace transform of t into x of t is, and the multiplication of t in with the signal x of t is the differentiation of this Laplace transform with this negative sign. So here the answer is A, minus of d of x of x divided by ds. So here the answer is A. Next question, Laplace transform of I of t is given by I of s, that is equal to 2 divided by s into 4 plus s. The value that it will settle at t is equal to infinity is, that is when t is equal to infinity, that is in this case we can find that is limit s tends to 0 and s into f of s, and this is known as final value theorem. So when t is equal to, that is limit of t tends to 0 in f of t, that is equal to limit of s tends to 0 into s into f of s, and here f of s is this I of s. So put that value in this equation, that is s into 2 divided by s into 4 plus s. So s get cancelled and put s is equal to 0. This s becomes 0. So this value is 2 divided by 4. So that is equal to 1 by 2. So here the answer is A, 1 by 2. Next question, Laplace transform for f of t, that is equal to cos square of t. And we can write this cos square of t as 1 plus cos 2t divided by 2. So we can't find the direct Laplace transform of this cos square of t. So we just find the equivalent of this cos square of t, that is equal to 1 plus cos 2t divided by 2. So from that we can find, that is take 1 by 2 plus like this cos 2t divided by 2. So now 1 by 2 outside, and this become, that is 1 plus cos 2t. So now taking Laplace transform For 1, the Laplace transform is 1 by s, and cos 2t, that is s divided by s square plus 4. So s square plus 4, this is for cos 2t. So now if you take the LCM, this become s into s square plus 4, and s square plus 4 for the s, and here plus s square. So here there is no s, so this s is multiplied with this s, that's become s square, and this 1 is multiplied with s square plus 4, and this become s square plus 4 here. So now solving this, we will get, that is 1 by 2 into 2s square plus 4 divided by s into s square plus 4. So taking 2 from this 1 by 2 and taking 2 from this equation, that is 2 into s square plus 2 divided by s into s square plus 4. So this 2 and 2 get cancelled. Now it become s square plus 2 divided by s into s square plus 4. So this is the answer, s square plus 2 divided by s into s square plus 4. So here the answer is D. So for this signal, the Laplace transform is s square plus 2 divided by s into s square plus 4. And fifth question, Laplace transform of impulse function is, the Laplace transform of impulse function is 1. So here the answer is A. 1 is the answer. So next question, find f of infinity if f of s is s minus 1 divided by s into s square minus 1. Again, this is the final value theorem. Based on that, we can find the answer here. So for final value theorem, says that this s tends to 0 and s into f of s, that is equal to limit t tends to infinity f of t. So now limit s tends to 0, s into s minus 1, f of s is s minus 1 divided by s into s square minus 1. So this s is cancelled. So put 0, this s term, this become minus 1 divided by minus 1. So the answer become plus 1. So here the answer is C, 1. So seventh question, find Laplace transform of the square wave given below. So first write the function of this. Write the function of this square wave, that is, this square wave is 1 for the time period 0 to t, and minus 1 for the time period t to t, and this is a function equation of the signal. So next we have to find the Laplace transform of this f of t, and the equation for finding Laplace transform here is 0 to infinity f of t into e power minus s t into dt, and this is the Laplace equation. So now f of t, we know the value here, so that is 0 to t, the value is 1. So 1 e power st into dt plus in t to 2t, that amplitude is minus 1, f of t is minus 1, and st into dt. So solving this, we will get, this is e power st divided by s, and this is the integration of this e power minus st, and taking this minus outside, and this become similar minus st, and here the limit is t, 0 to t, and here the limit is 2t to t. So next we have to solve this. Okay, we have to solve this. We will get e power minus st minus e power 0 divided by minus s, and minus of, and this is first, and minus of, this is e power minus 2st minus e power minus st divided by minus s. So solving this, we will get e power minus st minus 1 divided by minus s, and minus of this minus and minus become plus, and we will get e power minus st minus e power minus st divided by plus s. So now taking s common, and this become 1 minus, because we take this minus outside, so this become 1 minus e power minus st plus e power minus 2st and e power minus st. So now I write here, so that is equal to 1 minus, here this also e to the power minus st, and this also e to the power minus st. So this become 2 into e power minus st and plus e power minus 2st. So this is similar to divided by s. So this is similar to 1 minus. So if you solve this, we will get 1 minus e power minus st the whole square, that is a minus b the whole square. This is the formula, and if you are solving this, we will get the same this equation and divided by s. So this is the final expression of this square wave. So the step here is, so find the equation of this square wave first, and taking Laplace transform using this equation, that is, this is the Laplace transform of the signal, that is equal to 0 to infinity f of t e to the power minus st into dt, and we know f of t and also the time interval. Put all those things and solve, and we will get the result 1 minus e power minus st the whole square divided by s. So here the answer is 1 divided by s into 1 minus e power minus st the whole square, and minus, here minus is the answer. So C is the answer. And 8th question, find Laplace transform of sin omega naught t plus theta. Sin of omega naught t plus theta. And I share that important Laplace transform pair, so we just go through it. And for the Laplace transform of this signal is s sin theta plus omega naught cos theta divided by s square plus omega square. So this is also sine, so you have to remember this come with s sine first. So sine, for sine omega naught t plus theta, the formula is s sine, the Laplace transform is s sin theta plus omega naught cos theta divided by s square plus omega naught square. So here the answer is B. So similarly, the same Laplace transform for cos, so that is omega naught t plus theta, and here comes cos, means it come cos first. So s cos theta and minus here omega naught sin theta divided by same thing, similar, s square plus omega naught square, and this is for cos omega naught t plus theta. Next question, find Laplace transform of t to the power n divided by n factorial into u of t, where n is the positive integer. So this also D is the answer. So t power n divided by n factorial means minus 1 power n into 1 divided by s power n plus 1. So this is the answer for this question. So D is the answer. And the next question, find, this is based on initial value theorem. The concept here is s tends to infinity, s into f of s, that is equal to t tend to 0 f of t. So here f of s value is, so put that value, s into 2s plus 1 divided by s square minus 1. So taking s outside from each term, that becomes, if you take s outside means 2 plus 1 by s divided by, here s square means taking s square outside, it become 1 minus 1 by s square. So now this become s square divided by s square into this become s square by s square, this also s square divided by s square into 2 plus 1 by s divided by 1 minus s square. So put the limit is, here is s tends to infinity. So this term becomes 0. This term also becomes 0. So something divided by infinity, that becomes 0. So this two terms become 0 and this also get cancelled. So remaining term here is 2 by 1. 2 by 1. So here the answer is 2. So the right answer for this is C. 2 is the answer. And 12th question, if Laplace transform of f of t is f of s and f of Laplace transform of f of a t, and this is come with a scaling property, Laplace property. So the property of this is f of a t, that is if you are multiply any this time with any integer, the Laplace transform, that is Laplace transform becomes 1 by a into f of s by a. So this is the property. So here they are given this 1 by a as k. You have to find the k value. So the k is similar to 1 by a. So here the answer is B, 1 by a. 13th question, determine the Laplace transform of the triangular pulse. So there are two methods, and I show the shortcut method here, and this is the function f of t. So for any question like this, you have to write the equation first. You have to find the equation first. So here the that is expression of the signal first. So here the f of t, that is equal to, and if you are taking this is unit signal, means this is u of t minus u of t minus t. So consider this is u of t signal. So this is u of t and this is t. U of t minus, this is u of t signal and this is u of t minus t signal. So if you subtract this, we will get this signal. So we can write the expression of this rectangular pulse as f of t is equal to u of t minus u of t minus t. So now we can find the Laplace transform of this. So the Laplace transform of u of t is 1 by s minus, this is some time shift property. Using that property, we can find that is equal to e power minus st divided by s. So this is using time shifting property. So taking s outside, we will get 1 minus e power minus st. So here the answer is 1 by s into 1 minus e power minus st. So A is the answer. So another one method, that is using that equation. So first the expression for this f of t is 1. The time limit is 0 to t. So we know the Laplace transform is integral 0 to infinity f of t e power minus st into dt. Here f of t is 1. The time interval is 0 to t. So e power minus st into dt. So that is given as e power minus st divided by minus s. The limit is 0 to t. So solving this, we will get e power minus st minus e power 0 divided by minus s. So the answer is e power minus st minus 1 divided by minus s. That is equal to, if you take minus outside, that is become minus st divided by s. So that is equal to 1 by s into 1 minus e power minus st. So this is another one method and this is a shortcut method. So the answer here is 1 by s into 1 minus e power minus st. And 14th question, find the Laplace transform of sin omega naught t. And we have to memorize some important signal Laplace transform pair. So for the Laplace transform of this sin omega naught t is, that is omega naught divided by s square plus omega naught square. So first for sin, that is the upper case, that is omega naught divided by s square plus omega naught square. So here the answer is C. Similarly, find Laplace transform of a into e power minus at. So e power minus at means that is 1 plus s plus a. Here minus means plus, plus means minus. So here a into e power minus at means a divided by 1 plus a. So here the answer is C. A divided by s plus a. C is the answer. First question, a system with an input x of t and output y of t is described by the relation y of t is equal to t into x of t. This system is so any system said to be linear if it is satisfied two conditions. One is superposition. It satisfies superposition theorem, and next one is homogeneity. So here this is, the input is added, the output also we will get like that, x1 plus x2, the output also y1 plus y2. This is superposition. Homogeneity, if you are multiply this input with any scale value, the output also multiplied with that scale value. So if the system is satisfying these two conditions, the system said to be linear. Find the system is linear or not. Here they given the relationship between input and output, that is y of t is equal to t into x of t. So if you multiply this y of the output with the parameter this a, so this become a into t into x of t. Okay, so consider this one is 1, this one is y1 of t. Similarly, if a into y2 of t is equal to a into t into x2 of t, and if we are adding this two, we will get a y1 of t plus y2 of t, that is equal to a into t into x1 of t plus x2 of t. So t into x2 of t. So now we will get same, that is here the linearity function is proved. The output is, so system is linear. And for delayed, so time invariant or time varying system, we delay the output for time period t naught, y of t minus t naught, we will get here t minus t naught into x of t minus t naught. So the system is time varying system. So we get different answer if you are delay the input. So this is time varying function. Similarly, simply you can write this is a time varying function because the input is multiplied with the time function. So the system is time varying system. So here the answer is, the system is linear and time varying. So here the answer is B. B is the answer. Second question, for linear time invariant system that are bounded input, bounded stable, which one of the following statement is true? And for linear time invariant system that are bounded input, bounded stable, which one of the following statement is true? The unit step response will be bounded. So the here this is the bounded input, bounded output system. So the unit step response will be bounded. So the answer here is D. Third question, the impulse response of an initially relaxed linear system is e power minus 2t into u of t. To produce a response of t into e power minus 2t u of t, the input must be equal to. and here h of t that is equal to e power minus 2t into u of t. So they are given this impulse response, and y of t that is equal to response that is equal to t into e power minus 2t into u of t. So we have to find input signal x of t. So for that we know the relationship, that is h of s is equal to transfer function x of s, and here y of s that is equal to h of that is equal to this Laplace transform of this function. We will get h of s that is equal to 1 by s plus 2. Similarly, y of s Laplace transform of this function, we will get 1 by s plus 2 the whole square, because this is multiplied with t, so we will get y of s is equal to 1 by s plus 2 the whole square. Now we have to find x of s that is equal to y of s divided by h of s. So we will get 1 by s plus 2 the whole square into s plus 2. So 1 s plus 2 and 1 s plus 2 get cancelled. So the answer is s of x that is equal to 1 by s plus 2. From that we can find x of t. So inverse Laplace transform that is equal to e power minus 2t into u of t. Okay. So this is the input signal of this system. X of t is equal to e power minus 2t into u of t. So here the answer is C, e power minus 2t into u of t. Fourth question, the impulse response of a continuous time system is given by h of t is equal to del of t minus 1 plus del of t minus 3. The value of the step response at t is equal to 2 is. So for considering the function, this is h of t impulse function. So input step response u of t, and we will get output y of t. And here h of t is equal to del of t minus 1, that is h of t is equal to del of t minus 1 plus del of t minus 3. So we will get y of t as u of t minus 1 plus u of t minus 3. So now we have to find u of t at t is equal to 2. So y of 2. So y of 2, it become u of 2 minus 1, that is u of 1 plus u of 2 minus 3. So we will get minus 1. So here the answer is 1. So y of 2, the answer here is 1. So the answer is B. Fifth question, the Dirac delta function is defined as. So the delta function has the value 1 at t is equal to 0, and the integral of del of t into dt is equal to 1. So the del of t is equal to 1 when t is equal to 0 and 0 otherwise, and the integral of del of t over the interval minus infinity into infinity, that is equal to 1. So here the answer is C. Sixth question, the input and output of the continuous time system are respectively denoted by x of t and y of t. Which of the following description correspond to a causal system? And causal system, the output is dependent on past and present value only. It does not depend on the future value. So considering that this one is output is dependent on future value, and this also future value is here. Here also future value is here. So the answer here is B. The output is dependent on past value only. So here the answer is B. Seventh question, convolution of x of t plus 5 with impulse function del of t minus 7 is equal to. And we know if consider this x of t convolution with this h of t, we will get g of t. So now we delay this x of t with tau 1 and also this h of t tau 2. So now we will get this g of t minus tau 1 minus tau 2. Okay, so in this question we will have this x of t plus 5 and convolution with h of t minus 7, that is del of t minus 7. So the answer is g of t minus 5. Here this is plus 5, so plus 5 minus 7. So we will get g of t minus 2. Okay, so here g, that is here they are mentioning as x. So the answer equal to x of t minus 2. So here the answer is C, x of t minus 2. Eighth question, the impulse response h of n of the linear invariant system is given by h of n is equal to u of n plus 3 plus u of n minus 2 minus 2 into u of n minus 7, where u of n is the unit step sequence the above system is. And by seeing this equation itself, the h of n is dependent on future value, so the system is non-causal. So this is not causal system. So maybe this A and D are the correct answers. Any one of the answer from A and D is correct. So considering this h of n for stable system, we have to find this n of minus infinity to infinity h of t less than infinity. So here this is u of n plus 3, so the limit is minus 3 to infinity, and here the limit is 2 to infinity, and here this is 7 to infinity. Okay, so this term, minus term, this u of minus 7, adding this, so adding this 2 and this subtracting this 2, we will get the limited value, that is this here, this is equal to summation of n is equal to minus 3 to 6, because after 7 we will cancel all the value due to the third term. This is a subtraction term, so this become u of n plus 3, and this also n is equal to 2 to 6, u of n minus 2. So remaining terms cancelled due to this third term. So this the value is bounded, this value provide bounded output. So this is a bounded input and bounded output system, so the system is stable. So here the answer is A. The system is stable but not causal. So here the answer is A. Two systems with impulse response h1 of t and h2 of t are connected in cascade, then the overall impulse response of the cascade system is given by. So the system cascaded with two impulse response, this is h1 of t and this is h2 of t, can replaced with convolution of this two impulse response. So cascade mean it is replaced with the convolution of that two h1 of t and h2 of t. So here the answer is C. 10th question, a system is defined by its impulse response h of n is equal to 2 power n in u of n minus 2. H of n is equal to 2 power n into u of n minus 2. The system is and this h of n is equal to 2 power n into u of n minus 2. So the h of n value does not depend on future value. So this is a causal system. But for considering stable, that is n is equal to minus infinity to infinity, h of n must less than infinity. But here this is multiplied with this unit sequence. So we will get summation of n is equal to 2, here minus 2. So the limit is 2 to infinity 2 power n. So this is equal to infinity. So the value is not bounded here. So the answer, the system is unstable, but this is a causal system but not stable. So here the answer is C. This is a causal system but not stable system. C is the answer. First question is, a band limited signal with a maximum frequency of 5 kHz is to be sampled. According to the sampling theorem, the sampling frequency in kilohertz which is not valid. And sampling theorem, the sampling frequency must greater than or equal to the maximum frequency of the signal. So here the maximum frequency is 5 kHz. So the sampling frequency must greater than 2 into 5, that is 10 kHz. So these values are the value greater than this 10 kHz are valid, less than this 10 kHz are invalid. So comparing this value, 5 is less than 10, so here the answer is A. Next question, for the signal f of t is equal to 3 sin 8 pi t plus 6 sin 12 pi t plus sin 14 pi t, the minimum sampling frequency in hertz satisfying the Nyquist criterion is. And these are the signal, added signal. So for added signal, we have to pick the maximum frequency value among this 3 term. So considering this 3 term, 14 pi is the highest value here. So we will get that is 14 pi t, that is equal to 2 pi ft. So pi get cancelled and this becomes 7. So the FM maximum frequency is 7. So the sampling frequency greater than or equal to 2 FM. So that must 2 into 7 Hz, that is equal to 14. Greater than or equal to 14 Hz. So here the answer is C. Otherwise we can take directly from that equation which is the value greater than those 3 terms, 14 pi. So the frequency is 14 Hz. So we can directly choose the answer from seeing that signal itself. So the answer here is C, 14. Third question, find the Nyquist rate and Nyquist interval of sin 2 pi t. So Nyquist rate is, we have to find Fs and we have to find Ts. So the Ts is equal to 1 divided by 2 Fs. The Ts is equal to 1 divided by 2 Fs. So here Fs greater than or equal to 2 Fm, and Fm here is, that is 2 pi Fmt, that is equal to 2 pi t. So 2 pi get cancelled, this t also cancels. So Fm is 1. So Fs is greater than or equal to 2 into 1, that is 2 Hz. So we will get the Fs value here, and Ts, that is equal to 1 by 2 Fm, sorry, this one is Fm, that is Fs. So we will get 1 by 2 second. So this is Nyquist interval. So the Nyquist rate is 2 Hz, Nyquist interval is 1 by 2 second. So here the answer is A. Fourth question, consider two real valued signal x of t band limited to minus 500 Hz and 500 Hz, and y of t is equal to band limited to minus 1 Hz and minus 1 kilohertz and 1 kilohertz, or z of t is equal to x of t into y of t. The Nyquist sampling frequency in kilohertz is, and here the signal is, actual signal is y of t, that is equal to x of t into y of t, and we know the multiplication signal we have to add the frequencies. So for added signal we have to pick the maximum frequency value among that added signals, and the multiplication means we have to add the frequency values. So that is, for each signal have different values, we have to add all values. So here also multiplication multiplied signal. So the frequency of x of t is 500, y of t is 1000, that is 500 Hz, and this one is 1 kilohertz, that is 1000 Hz. 500 Hz plus 1000 Hz, we will get 1500 Hz. So this is the maximum frequency, and from that we can find the sampling frequency greater than or equal to 2 Fm. So that is equal to 2 into 1500. So that is equal to 3000 Hz or 3 kilohertz. So we need to find the answer in kilohertz. So the answer is 3. So answer here is B. Next question, determine the Nyquist rate for the signal x of t is equal to sinc 100 pi t plus 3 sinc square 60 pi t. So this is an added signal, so we have to pick the maximum value among this two signal. So considering this, we have the formula, that is sin square pi, that is equal to sin pi divided by pi the whole square. So this is the formula for the sin square pi. So here we have sin square 60 pi t. So we can write this as sin 60 pi divided by 60 pi the whole square. So this can be rewritten as 60 pi into sin 60 pi divided by 60 pi. So again this is a multiplied signal, so we have to add this to 60 pi. So we will get, so consider this as 1 or this as 2 and this as w omega m1 first signal and this is second signal. So the second signal value here is 60 pi plus 60 pi. So we will get 120 pi. So now this is a added signal and w omega m1, that is equal to 100 pi. So seeing this, the maximum frequency is, maximum value here is 120 pi. Okay, so we have to find the Nyquist rate. So we can directly take the answer here is 120. Otherwise we have to find the maximum frequency value using that equation 2 pi fmt, that is equal to 120 pi. That is the maximum value among these two, and we will cancel this one 60 and fm is 60. So fs is greater than or equal to 2 into fm. So that is equal to 2 into 60, that is equal to 120. So otherwise we can directly choose the answer by saying that the omega, maximum omega m value. So the answer here is B. Next question, find the Nyquist sampling interval for x of t is equal to sinc 80 pi t, sinc 120 pi t, and we have to find the sampling interval. So Ts is equal to 1 by Fs. So Fs, this is a multiplied signal, so we have to add this 2. So we will get omega m is equal to omega m1 plus omega m2. So adding this we will get 80 pi plus 120 pi, that is equal to 200 pi. So this one is maximum value, is 200 pi. So from that we can take, that is Fs is equal to 200. Otherwise you can find it maximum frequency using the formula, using the value 2 pi fmt is equal to 200 pi t. Using that also we can find, but you can directly choose the sampling frequency, Nyquist sampling frequency from this point. So the Fs value here is 200. From that we can find Ts, that is 1 divided by 200. So we will get 0.005 second or 5 millisecond. So here the answer is C, 5 millisecond. Seventh question, anti-aliasing filter will analyze the signal and sample at the rate of. So that is Fs equation must greater than or equal to maximum frequency. So here the answer is C. Eighth question, the signal x1 of t and x2 of t are band limited to 4 pi radian per second and 10 pi radian per second respectively. The minimum sampling rate required for sampling the signal x1 of 2t plus x2 of t by 2 is. And here the signal is x1 of 2t. So here x1 of t is 4 pi. So x1 of 2t become 8 pi here. Similarly, this t by 2 become, this one is 10 pi, x2 of t is 10 pi, so t by 2 become 5 pi. So this is an added signal, we have to pick the maximum value. So 8 pi is the maximum value. So we have to find the minimum sampling rate. So we have to find Fs. Fs must greater than or equal to 2Fm. Otherwise here we have to find the resulting radian per second. So we need omega m value that also greater than or equal to 2 omega m, this value. So consider this is omega s, means the answer here is greater than or equal to 2 omega m. So the answer is 2 into 8 pi. So the answer 16 pi radian per second. So here the answer is E. Ninth question, aliasing occurs when the signal is undersampled. When the signal is undersampled, the aliasing will occur. So the answer here is B. Final question, the Nyquist rate of the signal x of t is equal to 6 sine square 400 pi t cos 200 pi t is. And sine square of t, we can write this as sine of t into sine of t. So sine square 400 pi t can written as sine 400 pi t into sine 400 pi t. So now this is a multiplied signal, so we have to add this two signal. So this becomes sine 800 pi t. 400 plus 400, this become 800 pi t. So this is the again this is a multiplied signal, so we have to. So now the signal become 6 sine 800 pi t into cos 200 pi t. So again this is a multiplied signal, so you have to add these two values. So omega m become 800 pi plus 200 pi. So the answer is 1000 pi. So by seeing this, we have to find the Nyquist rate. By seeing this, we can choose Fs is equal to 1000 hertz. Otherwise 1 kilohertz. So here 1000 hertz. So the answer also in hertz. So here the answer is B, 1000 hertz. First question, inverse Laplace transform for s plus a divided by s plus b is. And here we can divide this as s by s plus b plus a by s plus b. So now we can take inverse Laplace separately for this two term. So first take this one, and here use this property, that is f into f of s, that is equal to differentiation of f of t. So here this is s into 1 by s plus b. So the differentiation of, and we all know 1 by s plus b, that is e power minus bt. So the inverse Laplace transform of 1 divided by s plus b is e power minus bt. So differentiation of this, we can get the inverse Laplace transform of this term. So this is equal to minus b into e power minus t. So differentiation of this e power minus bt is minus b into e power minus bt. And next term, consider this term, and this is a divided by s plus b. So it can be written as a into 1 divided by s plus b. So the inverse Laplace transform of this one is a into e power minus bt. So now we get two inverse Laplace for this two terms. So we will get this as minus b e power minus bt plus a into e power minus bt. So taking e power minus bt outside, we will get a minus b. So here the answer is e power minus bt into a minus b. So answer here is B. And second question, determine the pole location in Laplace transform of the following signal. X of t is equal to e power minus 2t into u of t plus e power minus 4t into u of t. And you can directly take for this e power minus 2 power t, and in this case e power case, you can directly take the pole location. That is, in this case minus 2 is the pole location, and in this case minus 4 is the
pole location, because the Laplace transform of this is 1 divided by s plus 2, and the pole means when this become 0, that is s plus 2 is equal to 0, so s is equal to minus 2. This is the pole location. So we just directly take it from this signal itself. For exponent, this e term we can take it from directly. So here the answer is minus 2 and minus 4. So answer here is C. Next question, find the Laplace transform of this s divided by 2 into s square minus 4. And we know s divided by s square minus 4, the Laplace transform is cos h 2t. So this is the Laplace transform of this term, and in front of that we have 1 by 2. So the Laplace transform of this is 1 by 2 t. So this is the answer. So here answer is B, 1 by 2. So here the answer is 1 by 2 hyperbolic function of this cos h 2t. This is the answer. So for cos hyperbolic cos omega naught t, the Laplace transform is s divided by s square minus omega naught square. So memorize this Laplace transform pair. So from that we can find B is the answer. So next question, the transfer function of a system given by h of s is equal to 1 by s square into s plus 2 the whole square. The impulse response of the system is, and this is h of s. So the property here is, that is the multiplication in Laplace transform in s domain, that is convolution in time domain. So the convolution in time domain. So by taking this we can write this as s square into 1 by s plus 2 the whole square. So we can write 1 by s square, that is the Laplace transform of this is t into u of t. T into u of t, that is given as 1 by s square. And similarly, and considering this one, and this is 1 divided by s plus 2 the whole square. So this can be taken as the formula, that is t into f of t. So the property, using this property, the Laplace transform is minus 1 power n and differentiation of this f of s, Laplace transform of differentiation of this Laplace transform. So this is the property. So if you are considering this square or anything, you just try this property, and here s plus a. So 1 by s plus a, this is nothing but e power minus 2t. So if we are putting t into e to the power 2t, we will the Laplace transform for this 1 divided by a s plus 2, that is e power minus 2t. So try the differentiation of this. So if you are considering this, this is the Laplace transform. So if you are considering this, the Laplace transform is 1 by s plus a. So just to differentiate this we will get. So using this property, if you are differentiating this, we will get, that is s plus 2 power minus 1. So just to put this equation. So this become minus 1 into 1, because we are considering t into e power minus 2t. The power here is 1. So minus 1 power 1, and differentiating this we will get minus 1 into s plus 2 power minus 2 into 1. Differentiation of this s. So we will get minus 1 power 1, that is minus 1. Minus 1 into minus 1 become 1, and we will get s plus 2 power minus 2. And this is nothing but 1 divided by s plus 2 the whole square. So now we will get this 1 by s plus 2 the whole square. So the inverse Laplace transform of this is t into e power minus 2t. So we have, first we consider this s plus 2, 1 divided by s plus 2, that means e power minus 2t. If you are having this square means we just put t into e power minus 2t. So this is the inverse Laplace transform of this term. So the multiplication in Laplace transform this S domain, that is equal to convolution in time domain. So now x1 of t is t u of t, x2 of t is t into e power minus 2t. So here the answer is t u of t and convolution with t into e power minus 2t into u of t. So here the answer is B. Next question, find inverse Laplace transform of this a divided by s square minus a square. So this is the formula omega naught divided by s square minus omega naught square. The Laplace transform here is sine omega naught t. So this is nothing but, so here minus means this is hyperbolic sign. So here sin h omega naught t. So here omega naught is equal to a. So the answer here is sin h of at. So here the answer is C. Next question, find the inverse Laplace transform for this 2 omega naught s divided by s square plus omega naught square the whole square. So in this question also we have this square term here. So we consider this square means the power is 2 means the answer must have t, because this 2 means t to the power 1 only, 3 means t to the power 2, like that we have the answer. So here 2 means in answer we have t, and same t into f of t, the property is power n and differentiation of this Laplace transform. So here the Laplace transform, if you are differentiating this term we will get 2s and another one term is omega naught. So we can separate that term. So if you are differentiating this s square, what we get 2s. So take the 2s and remaining term omega naught divided by s square plus omega naught square, the whole square. So now you consider this term alone without this square, and this is the term of sin omega naught t, that is this omega naught divided by s square plus omega naught the whole square, that is the Laplace transform of sin omega naught t. So now we just found the answer here. So final answer here is t into sin omega naught t into u of t. Otherwise you differentiate this f of s. This is f of t. From this property, consider this is f of t. You just take the f of s of this f of t. We will get omega naught divided by s square plus omega naught square. And if you are differentiating this term, and this term become, this is omega naught into s square plus omega naught square power minus 1. I just take this term to up means this 1 become minus 1 here. So now we are just differentiating this term, and this is f of s of this f of t. So now from this property we have to differentiate this f of s. So differentiating with respect to this s. So we will get minus 1 into s square plus omega naught square power minus 2 into this differentiation of this s square. We will get 2s. So now we will get minus omega naught, and this minus and this minus become cancelled, because in equation itself we have one minus 1 to the power 1. So this also minus 1 and this also minus 1 become positive 1. So we get the answer as 2 omega naught s divided by s square. If you are taking this term in here, this minus 2 become plus 2. So omega naught square the whole square. So now we get the answer here. So just opposite to this procedure we can find the inverse Laplace transform. So t into f of t is the solution here, and f of t here is sin omega naught t. So here the answer is A. t into sine omega naught t into ut. And shortcut form, in basically the square means the answer having the t value, only t, and taking and just differentiate the s term and we will get 2s, and taking the 2s outside and remaining term omega naught divided by s square plus omega naught square, and without considering the square, what is the value, take that value, and this is that can give your final result. And seventh question, find the inverse Laplace transform for this tan inverse of 1 by s. And for this also you remember this term, that is tan inverse of a by s. The Laplace transform per here is sine at divided by t, and this is the standard one, and here a value is 1. So this become tan inverse of 1 by s means that is equal to sine t divided by t. So here the answer is B. And next question, and this question and this question both are similar only, because tan inverse of 1 by s, that is equal to cot inverse of s. So here we have to find the inverse Laplace transform for cot inverse of s. So that is cot inverse of s, that is equal to tan inverse of 1 by s. And already we solved for tan inverse of 1 by s. The answer here is sine t divided by t. So the same thing here, the inverse Laplace transform of cot inverse of s, that is equal to sine t divided by t. So here the answer is A. Ninth question, find the inverse Laplace transform for s square plus 2 divided by s into s square plus 4. And I just give the answer here. The answer is cos square t, because the Laplace transform of this cos square t, otherwise the Laplace transform pair here is s square plus 2 divided by s into s square plus 4. And for sin square t, the Laplace transform pair is 2 divided by s into s square plus 4. So just and we can solve using inverse Laplace equation, and it take more time. So we just remember for cos square t, the inverse Laplace transform is s square plus 2 divided by s into s square plus 4. So the inverse Laplace transform of this one is answer is B. And final one, this is very easy. So the Laplace transform per here is unit step signal u of t. So the inverse Laplace of this 1 by s, that is equal to B, is the answer u of t.
First question, the first points of the 8-point DFT of a real value sequence are 0.25 minus j 0.3018, 0, 0.125, j 0.0518. Remaining values are, and here we know the value, that is x of k, that is equal to conjugate of this. Here this is 8-point DFT, so 8 minus k. Okay, so it require 8 values, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values are there. You have to find remaining 3. So this is considered, this one is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to find 5, 6, 7. So first x of 5, that is equivalent to 8, conjugate of this value, 8 minus 5, that is 3. So that is equal to 0 here. And next value, x of 6, that is equal to conjugate of 2, and that also 0. So value here is 0. Similarly x of 7, that is equal to 1, and 1 is minus j 0.3018, and that is become plus j 0.3018. So the sequence are, remaining sequence are 0, 0, j 0.3018. So here the answer is B. Second question, compute DFT of a sequence x of n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. And this DFT can obtain using the formula. So the coefficients, so take that for 4-point DFT, 1, 1, 1, here also 1, 1, 1, and minus j, minus 1 j, and here also 1, minus 1, 1, minus 1, and here j minus 1, minus j. Okay, and taking that input sequence, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, and solving this we will get the answer. So first point, matrix multiplication. So 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3, that is equal to 6. And second, that is 0 minus j plus, minus 2 plus 3j. So the answer here is minus 2 plus 2j. And third point, 0 minus 1 plus 2 minus 3. Okay, so that is minus 2. Next, final value, 0 plus j minus 2 minus 3j. So the answer is minus 2 minus 2j. So the sequence are 6, minus 2 plus 2j, minus 2, minus 2 minus 2j. So here the answer is 6, minus 2 plus 2j, minus 2, and minus 2 minus 2j. So here the answer is B. Next question, find linear convolution of input sequence x of n is equal to 1, 2 and h of n is equal to 1, 2, 4. Okay, so the shortcut method to find the answer here is, take this as h of n and this is x of n. Okay, and x of n value is 1, 2, and h of n value is 1, 2, 4, and multiply this, cross multiplication, that is 1 into 1, that is 1, 1 into 2, 2, 1 into 4, 4, same, 1 into 2 into 1, 2, 2 into 2, 4, 2 into 2, 4, 2 into 4, 8. Okay, and take this value and add all this value. Okay, so first one is 1 and second one is 2 plus 2, that is 4, 4 plus 4, that is 8, and remaining this one is 8. So the sequence here is 1, 4, 8, 8. So here the answer is B, 1, 4, 8, 8. Fourth question, the value of Wn k plus n is, and use the periodicity property of f of t. We know that is n k plus n, that is equal to Wn k. Okay, and this is periodicity property of f of t. So here W of n k plus n is equal to Wn k. So answer here is A. Fifth question, in 8-point f of t computation, the number of phase factors are 4. Answer here is D, 4. So the phase factor computation is n by 2, and here n is 8. So n 8 divided by 2, that is equal to 4. So answer is D. And next question, in 16-point DFT, the number of complex multiplication requirement is, and the complex multiplication requirement, that is computed as n square, and here n is 16, so 16 square, that is given as 256. So here the answer is D. Seventh question, for complete DFT, n minus 1 complex additions are converted to 2n square minus 2n real addition, that is 2n square minus 2n real addition. Okay, so here the answer is A. Next question, using symmetry property, determine the following value, Wn k plus n by 2. And using that symmetry property, the answer for this question is minus Wn k. Okay, and this is due to the symmetry property of ft. So minus wnk, this is the answer. So here the answer is A. Next question, determine the DFT for the sequence x of n is equal to 1, 1, 1, 1. And easiest method to find the answer for this kind of question, that is x sequence x of n consists of all 1. So here 4 ones. So the answer is 4, remaining 3 are 0. Okay. If the sequence having 8 ones means 8, 0, 0, 7 zeros. So here this is 4 point sequence and it has all ones. So the answer here is 4, 0, 0, 0. So answer here is C. Next question, the circular convolution of two sequences in the time domain is equal to multiplication of two DFTs. The circular convolution of two sequences in the time domain is equal to multiplication of two DFTs. So here the answer is A. 12th question, the Duddell factor value of 4-point DFT is minus J. So here the answer is C. The Duddell factor for 4-point DFT is minus J. C is the answer. Next question, convolute the sequence where x1 of n is equal to 2, 1, 2, 1, x2 of n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. And here the sequence is started with this point, that is here also 0 and here also 0. So the answer must start with this 0. By seeing this we can tell the correct answer is C. But the method for finding the correct sequence is just follow these steps. So first take this x2 of n. So we have to find convolution. So we take this x2 of n and write the sequence like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Again this 4 comes here and remaining terms 2, 3 and again 3. Here comes 4, 1, 2, again 2, 3, 4, 1, and the sequence 2, 1, 2, 1. So now do the matrix multiplication. We will get 1, 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 2. So that is equal to 14. Next one, so this one multiplied with this. Next 4 plus 1 plus 8 plus 3. So that is equal to 16. Third one 6 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4. That is equal to 14. Final one 8 plus 3 plus 4 plus 1. 12, 5, 16. So the sequence is 14, 16, 14, 16. Starting by this, here is 0 because both the sequence started with 0 value. So the answer also started with 0 value. So C is the answer here. 14th question, number of multiplication and additions are involved in radix to f of t is. The multiplication is n by 2 log base to n and the addition is n log to n. Multiplication is n by 2 log to n, addition is n log to n. So here the answer is A. First question, the Fourier transform of del of t minus t naught is, and this is a time shifting property. So the Fourier transform of t minus t naught, that is equal to e power minus j omega t naught into x of omega. And here this is del function, so the x of omega is 1 for del function. So the Fourier transform of this del of t minus t naught is e power minus j omega t naught. So here the answer is B. In second question, the Fourier transform of x of a t is, and this also we can study all these things in Fourier transform property. So the Fourier transform of this is equal to 1 by modulus a x of omega by a. So here the answer is A. Third question, compute the Fourier transform of the signal x of t is equal to e power minus at cos omega naught t into u of t. And for this particular topic, Fourier transform, you have to memorize all properties and important Fourier transform pair for very important signals. So we can expect question from this category: important signal Fourier transform and also properties of Fourier transform. And this also we can see the Fourier transform e power at. If you multiply this e power at and cos omega naught t, the Fourier transform is, you memorize Fourier transform or Laplace transform. In Laplace transform, you know only the Laplace transform means you have to put s is equal to j omega in Fourier transform. You will get the answer. So in s domain in Laplace transform, it replaced in j omega in Fourier transform. So here we know in Laplace transform this is s square plus omega naught square, and here s plus a, and here e power at means s plus a, and here also s plus a the whole square. So here we replace this s by this j omega. So the answer is j omega plus a divided by j omega plus a the whole square plus omega naught square. So here the answer is D. Fourth question, the Fourier transform of rectangular pulse t by tau is, and we know the function Fourier transform of this pulse, that is equal to tau into tau sinc omega tau divided by 2. So here the answer is B. And another one question, the Fourier transform of triangular pulse, that is t by tau. The Fourier transform of triangular pulse, that is equal to tau by 2 sinc square omega tau divided by 4. So this is the answer for triangular pulse, and this is for rectangular pulse. Here the answer is tau sinc omega tau divided by 2. B is the answer. And for triangular pulse, this is the answer. Fifth question, the Fourier transform of differentiation of x of t with respect to time is, that is equal to j omega x of omega. And this is also from property, differentiation of a signal with respect to time, that is equal to j omega into x of omega. So here the answer is C. Sixth question, the Fourier transform of cos omega naught t is, and this cos omega naught t means we have this addition symbol. So the answer here is C. So pi, that is real part, we don't have any j value here. So pi plus simple del of omega minus omega naught plus del of omega plus omega naught. So here the answer is C. So this is for cos omega naught t. In case of sin omega naught t, the Fourier transform is j pi, and we just interchange these two, that is del of omega plus omega naught minus del of omega minus omega naught. And this is again here, this is minus, imaginary part with minus symbol, and also here also minus. So this is a Fourier transform of sin omega naught t. Seventh question, the Fourier transform of e power j omega naught t into x of t is, and this is a property of multiplication of signal with exponential signal. So we know the this Fourier transform for this kind of signal, Fourier transform is x of omega minus omega naught. So here the answer is A. So this is a property of signal multiplied by the exponential signal. So the answer is x of omega minus omega naught. A is the answer. Eighth question, the Fourier transform of t into x of t is, so the multiplication of signal with t, we will get D as the answer. J into differentiation of this Fourier transform of this x of t with respect to omega. So here the answer is D. Ninth question, the spectrum of a triangular pulse is, and always the triangular pulse means is related to sinc squared function. Rectangular pulse related to sinc function. Here the spectrum of a triangular pulse is sinc square function. So here the answer is C. 10th question, the area under a function x of t, that is integration of minus infinity to infinity x of t into dt is, and always the area under a function of x of t, that is equal to the Fourier transform x of omega at omega is equal to 0. So the area under a function x of t is always equal to the Fourier transform of that x of t at omega is equal to 0. So here the answer is 1 by 2 pi x of 0. So this is the answer for area under a function of x of t. So here the answer is C. Next question, partial relation state that integration of minus infinity to infinity x1 of t x2 of conjugate of x2 of t into dt, that is equal to 1 by 2 pi integration of a minus infinity to infinity x1 of t, that is s1 of omega, and conjugate of this x2 of t, that is equal to x2 of conjugate of this x2 of this omega. So this is the relationship between this and Fourier transform is 1 by 2 pi integration of minus infinity to infinity x1 of omega into x2 of conjugate of x2 of omega into d omega. So here the answer is B. And Hilbert transformer is a, and this Hilbert transformer always provide a minus 90 degree phase shift in every function of Fourier transform. So this is a function of Hilbert transformer. So here the answer is minus 90 degree phase shifter, and it will provide the 90 degree phase shift in function of every Fourier component. It will provide minus 90 degree phase shifter. So here the answer is B. 13th question, a periodic signal become an aperiodic signal if its time period approaches infinity. So when the time period approaches infinity, the periodic signal become an aperiodic signal. So here the answer is B. 14th question, Fourier transform is applicable to, and Fourier transform is applicable to both periodic and aperiodic signal, where the Fourier series is applicable only to periodic signal, but this Fourier transform is applicable to both periodic and aperiodic signals. So here the answer is C. And 15th question, the Fourier transform of exponential minus a into modulus of t, that means this is a two-sided real exponential function. So the Fourier transform of this two-sided real exponential function, that is given as 2a divided by a square plus omega square. So here the answer is D. First question, for causal signal x of n, z transform x of z is, and for causal signal this x of n is equal to 0 for n less than 0. For causal signal, we have the value when x greater than or equal to 0. So the equation for z transform of this x of z for causal signal, that is equal to summation n is equal to 0 to infinity x of n z power minus n. We have the value when n greater than or equal to 0. So this is the answer. So answer here is B. Second question, inverse z transform of x of z by a is, and this is scaling property. Using scaling property, we know x of a power n x of n, that is equal to x of z by a. So this is known as scaling property of z transform. So the inverse transform of this x of z by a is a power n into x of n. So here the answer is C. Third question, ROC of x of n contains, Answer here is C, no poles. The ROC of x of n contains no poles because x of z must be finite for all z for convergence. So region of convergence here, ROC of x of n contains no poles because x of z must be finite for all n value, so there cannot be a pole for ROC. So answer here is C. Next question, the Z transform of x of n minus n naught is, and using the time shifting property, x of n minus n naught, that is equal to z power minus n naught into x of z. So this is known as time shifting property. So using that property we can find the answer for this question is A. Next question, convolution of two sequence x1 of n and x2 of n. Convolution of two sequences are equal to multiplication in z domain. So here the answer is x1 of z into x2 of z. B is the answer. Sixth question, ROC of the z transform of unit sequences. And if you find here x of n, that is equal to u of n. So finding z transform, we will get z by z minus 1. This is a z transform of this u of n. So the region of conversion, that is ROC, this z greater than 1. From that we can find z greater than 1. So the ROC of this unit sequence is z greater than 1. So here the answer is B. Next question, z transform of n into x of n is, and again using the differentiation of z transform property, here we have n into x of n, that is equal to minus z differentiation of this z transform of this x of n. So this is the differentiation of z transform property. So multiplication of signal with n into x of n, that is given as in z domain, that is equal to minus z differentiation of that z transform. So here the answer is D. Next question, a system is said to be BIBO stable, that is bounded input bounded output stable, if summation of n is equal to minus infinity to infinity h of n is, and for condition for stability, this h of n, the summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity h of n must less than infinity, that is absolutely summable, that property. So in this case the system said to be BIBO stable. So here the answer is less than infinity. D is the answer. Next question, ROC of unilateral Z transform is always, and for unilateral Z transform, the ROC is always outside the circle in the Z plane for unilateral Z transform, and it includes Z is equal to infinity. So here the answer is B, outside the circle in the Z plane. B is the answer. 10th question, Z transform of del of n is equal to 1. So here the answer is E. And 11th question, consider the sequence x of n that is equal to a power n into u of n plus b power n into u of n, where u of n denotes the unit step sequence and value a is greater than 0 but less than b, but b is greater than a and less than 1. The ROC of Z transform of x of n is, and here for a power n u of n, we have the ROC z greater than a. Similarly, we have b of n into u of n, ROC is z greater than b. But here the condition is b greater than a and greater than less than 1. So the ROC satisfy this condition, z greater than b. So here the answer is B, z greater than b, because a is less than this b. So here the answer is z greater than b. B is the answer. Next question, let x of n is equal to minus 1 by 9 the power n u of n minus 1 by 3 power n into u of minus n minus 1. ROC of z transform of z x of n is and this kind of question. So consider this, the ROC of this condition, that is equal to z less than 1 by 3 for u of minus n minus 1, the condition. So just memorize this condition. When u of minus n minus 1, the ROC is z minus 1 by 3, but in normal case and for this condition the ROC is z greater than 1 by 9, that is modulus value, so we will take 1 by 9. So taking this both condition, the ROC become 1 by 3 z less than this 1 by 3, and we can write this as z less than this 1 by 3 and greater than this 1 by 9. So here the answer is C. 13th question, what is the z transform of the following finite duration signal? X of n is equal to 245701, and the value started with, this means this x of 0 value is 5. So considering this x of 0 is equal to 5, we will get the answer 2 into z power 2 plus 4z plus 5z power 0. So this is 1. So z power 0, this become 1 here. So the answer here is 5, and z power 7 z power minus 1, and this is 5. 3. Z power minus 2, the value is 0, so that value becomes 0, and this one is z power minus 3. So here the answer is D. 14th question, what is the z transform of signal x of n is equal to 0.5 power n into u of n, and we know the value z transform for a power n into u of n, that is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus z power 1 into a. So this is the transform of this condition, and here a value is 0.5, and also ROC is that z greater than a, and this is a condition for a power n into u of n, and here a value is 0.5. So putting a is equal to 0.5, we will get 1 divided by 1 minus 0.5 z power minus 1 with ROC z greater than 0.5. So here the answer is 1 divided by 1 minus 0.5 z power minus 1 into and ROC, that is greater than 0.5. So A is the answer. 15th question, the z transform of a sequence x of n which is given as x of z, that is equal to summation of n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n z power minus n is known as, and here x n is equal to minus infinity to infinity. So this is known as bilateral z transform. When n is equal to 0 to infinity, that is known as unilateral z transform. When n is equal to minus infinity to infinity, this is known as bilateral z transform. So here the answer is B. First question, the Fourier series of a real periodic function has only, and this Fourier series for the case real periodic function, it has cosine term if it is even, and sine terms it is odd. So this is the answer. So the cosine term if it is even means this is P, and sine terms it is if it is odd, that is S. So correct answer is P and S. So correct answer here is A, P and S. So for the first question, correct answer is A. Second question, Fourier series applies to only periodic signal. Fourier series applies to only periodic signal. So here the answer is A. And third question, the exponential Fourier series representation of a signal x of t over the interval t0 to t0 plus t is given by, and this is the exponential Fourier series representation. So the equation for this exponential Fourier series representation, that is summation of n is equal to minus infinity to infinity Cn e power plus j n omega naught t, and here plus e power plus j n omega naught t. So here the answer is B. Fourth question, the exponential Fourier series coefficient Cn in terms of trigonometric Fourier coefficient is. That is, we know Cn is the exponential Fourier series coefficient. In last question, we see the Cn, and this is in trigonometric Fourier series coefficient equal to 1 by 2 an minus j bn. So this is the, if you are knowing this an bn value, you can find the Cn value, and this is trigonometric Fourier series and this is exponential Fourier series. So the relationship between this exponential Fourier series coefficient Cn and the trigonometric Fourier series coefficient an and bn, and this is the relation. So here the answer is B. Next question, the coefficient an is 0 for, and an is 0 for odd function. So here the answer is B. And bn is equal to 0 for even function, and an is equal to 0 for odd function. So here they are asking for an, so here the answer is B, odd function. Sixth question, a trigonometric Fourier series has one-sided spectrum. Trigonometric Fourier series has one-sided spectrum, and exponential Fourier series has two-sided spectrum. Trigonometric Fourier series has one-sided spectrum. Exponential Fourier series has two-sided spectrum. And here the question is trigonometric Fourier series. So the answer is one-sided spectrum. A is the answer. And seventh question, the frequency spectrum of a periodic signal is discrete. So here the answer is B. The frequency spectrum of a periodic signal is discrete. Answer is B. Eighth question, the exponential Fourier series coefficient Cn is given by, and we know the relationship between Cn and an bn, that is Cn is equal to 1 by 2 an minus jbn, and here the exponential Fourier series coefficient Cn is given by. How to find the Cn value? By using the formula 1 by t integral t naught to t naught plus t x of t e power minus jn omega naught t into dt. And in your Fourier series equation, we don't have this minus. We have e power plus jn omega naught t, that is Cn e power jn omega naught t. And here the coefficient calculation, we have this minus symbol. So Fourier series equation, we don't have this minus, and in calculating this coefficient, we have this negative sign. So for Cn, the answer here is B. 1 by t integral t naught plus t x of t e power minus jn omega naught t into dt. B is the answer. Ninth question, even symmetry is also called mirror symmetry. So here the answer is B, and odd symmetry is known as rotation symmetry. So odd symmetry is also called rotation symmetry. Even symmetry is also called mirror symmetry. So answer here is B. 10th question, for an even function x of t is equal to x of minus t. So this is known as even function. So here the answer is A. 11th question, the Fourier series of x of t is Cn, then Fourier series of x of t minus t naught is, and this is a time shifting property, and this is time shifting property. We know the time shifting property, that is x of t minus t naught, the Fourier series becomes Cn e power minus j omega naught n t naught. So this is the property, time shifting property. So here the answer is Cn plus Cn e power minus jn omega naught t naught. So here the answer is A. 12th question, find average power of the signal y of t is equal to half sine 20,000 pi t plus 1 by 4 sine 10,000 pi t. and we know the formula, and this is DC component. So the power is calculated as using that formula 1 by 2 the whole square divided by 2 average power divided by 2 plus 1 by 4. This 1 by 4 whole square divided by 2. So here the answer is 1 by 4 into 2 plus 1 by 16 into 2. So solving this we will get 1 by 8 plus 1 by 32, and taking LCM 32, and this is 4 plus 1. So here the answer is 5 by 32 watts. So here the answer is C, 5 by 32 watts. An exponential Fourier series has, and we discussed this in earlier, that is trigonometric Fourier series has one-sided spectrum, exponential Fourier series has two-sided spectrum. So here the answer is A, two-sided spectrum. 14th question, if x of n is real and even, its discrete time Fourier series coefficient are. So x of n is real and even, discrete time Fourier series coefficient also real and even. So here the answer is B. And 15th final question, the power in the signal x of t is equal to 8 cos 20 pi t plus pi by 2 plus 4 sin 15 pi by t is. And we solved this type of question earlier. The formula here is power, that is equal to 8 square by 2. So this 8, and take this 4 and 4 square by 2. So 8 into 8 divided by 2 plus 4 into 4 divided by 2. So 8 cancelled and 4 the answer, and 2 4 cancelled 2 the answer. So the answer is 32 plus 8. This is 40. So here the answer is A, 40.